Hi, my name is Sama Fekri, and I'm looking to find out more about the negative but also the positive portrayal of Muslims and Islam in the mainstream media. I want to know what impact these portrayals can have on Muslims growing up and living in the UK. Since Islam is a minority faith group in the UK, many people, especially those not living in the multicultural hub that is London, might not come into frequent or any contact with Muslims at all. And so, for many, the media could be their primary source of learning about Islam. Now, this wouldn't be a problem if the media portrayals of Muslims weren't so overwhelmingly negative.
So, Islamic State militants have admitted responsibility for the triple bomb attack on Brussels this morning, which killed at least 34 people.
A state of emergency has been declared in France after at least 127 people were killed.
They object to our way of life. They object to the fact that we don't necessarily believe in Allah, that we have the First Amendment, that we have the Bill of Rights. They object to so much about who we are and the way we live.
No one steals from my cart.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I don't have any money.
Thief!
Oh, please. If you let me go to the palace, I can get some from the Sultan.
Do you know what the penalty is for stealing?
No!
Jesus stands on the water while saying Christians walk on water, Muslims kids sink. Charlie Hebdo.
Cartoon involving Aylan Kurdi, a 3-year-old Syrian boy whose body washed up on a beach in Turkey last year. The cartoon shows his body on the beach in the upper left-hand corner with men in the foreground running after women. And it says, essentially, what would Aylan have grown up to be? An ass groper in Germany.
It then doesn't come as a surprise that so many Muslims are angry and upset. Muslims feel they are vilified and victimized by the mainstream media. Mr. Besky, an atheist poet and school teacher, spoke to me about the importance of media representation.
I think negative portrayals of any group of people have a negative effect. They make people question whether they have a place that's wanted in society, and I think it has a potentially bad effect on the aspirations of people to feel that they can be successful or that they're understood. If you don't see yourself represented, then you feel that something's not for you. So if you don't see yourself represented in the media, you think, well, the media is not a place that wants me or that is for me.
Let's have a look at some clips that show how some Muslims feel.
I wanted to take up drama for A-levels, but I felt as if that if I were to have taken up drama, I wouldn't even find a job or I wouldn't be accepted anywhere. I don't often see women that wear the hijab represented in films or movies, and then I have to do things like YouTube videos to try my best to get up there using another platform, which is quite sad because it takes much longer, of course, and it's not as professional as, you know, actually going and finding a professional job.
You see Muslims as like these animalistic creatures. You don't really see them as people anymore, as individuals.
Negatively, we represent them more than enough. If they show us being bad, why don't they show the things that we do as good people? No one's gonna, even if that's let's say it's an international event, no one's gonna give a crap because it's Muslim doing it. They're not gonna say, oh, good Muslims do it, save someone's life. Do you know what I mean?
Media outlets like the magazines and movies avoid using Muslims as you know, in their adverts and for promotional purposes, because Islam is now represented as such a controversial thing in the media.
There is a very clear disparity in how stories are reported when the perpetrator is Muslim versus when they're not Muslim. I think that there is a very clear bias in how a lot of the stories that we see are reported to the mainstream.
Muslims and Middle Easterners are shown to be violent, uncivilized, and unpredictable. in Western media.
How can you criticize someone based on, some news report that you've heard for the last few years, and that's it, you've made up your mind, this is Islam?
We have certain parts of the media, not all of the media, certain parts of the media which act with very right-wing interests. So it's within their interest to demonize and dehumanize Muslim people. Full stop. Full stop.
But maybe there is a glimpse of hope. There might still be a lot of discrimination and ignorance, but we are also living at a time where people are starting to open up their minds and their hearts to more and more minorities and people that weren't previously accepted. We've seen major improvements in the way in which the LGBT community is being represented and in the way in which people of color are being represented. So maybe people are starting to learn how to extend that understanding to even the Muslim community.
Told his son to aim punches at Blackwell's body minutes before the fight was stopped. For now, that's Channel 4 News. Good evening.
The winner of the 2015 Great British Bake Off is...
I'm never ever going to put boundaries on myself ever again. I'm never going to say I can't do it. I'm never going to say maybe. I'm never going to say I don't think I can. I can, and I will.
And she basically said that H&M were looking for women in hijab specifically.
Fake. Look chic. Look chic.
The fact that we're talking to you here on CNN, for you being the first hijab-wearing model to be featured in this, global retailer like H&M.
It's great to spend the first day of Ramadan with you, Dad.
Yes, son. Me too. Hard on you. That's not the way I remember it.
Wow. I think all people respond well to seeing positive images of themselves.
We should knock on more doors, and we should almost demand a fair trial.
And I think particularly if you're part of a smaller, a minority or a marginal or marginalised group of people, it's more important to push positive images so that people feel empowered and people feel that they're accepted and able to be successful. I think it's part of a wider issue of the representation of minority groups in mainstream media, like right across the board, from the news through to films and music and fashion.
Well, hey, we got something to offer here. Yeah. We have beautiful voices, beautiful arts, crafts, we have beautiful thinkers, we have a very strong, extremely competent, vision in fashion, in design, in engineering. Let's celebrate this to the world.
Receiving a lot of media coverage, and I'm happy that myself and the Imam are now receiving more media coverage than people who look like a cast from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Sure.
Now at least people who have been born and bred in this country are now the ones who are getting some of the press coverage, and that's fundamental.
It's been great to hear from both of you.
The Muslim population in this country, the United Kingdom, they play a very important role in terms of not only monetary, but in the career, in the industries, in medical research, in literary contributions, in media. So We have to be a recognized part of the puzzle.
Wow, that means that I might have a chance, and more people like me will have a chance.
What I'd like to see is there comes a time where it's not a surprise that you're on the mainstream, it's just a norm, right? Yes, you have a Sikh, fine. You have a Muslim, fine. What's the big deal? Now, you get one Muslim there, it's like, oh my God, check it out, Facebook, share.
But we need to actually make it happen for real now. It can't just be like a one-up, like a one-hit wonder.